How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be ranking each Humble Choice monthly bundle from the last 12 months. I've seen lots of discussion about whether the Humble Choices are getting better or worse, so I thought it'd be interesting to make a video going back over the last year to see and compare the quality of games that we've been receiving. There may be some great games you received in a choice long ago, collecting dust in your library, so hopefully this video will help remind you of some classics that you have just sitting around. Although the Humble Choice was offered at different price points over the past year, I'll be grading each month on the game selection as a whole. Oh, and before we start, go follow me on Twitter at Nardview. I'll be giving away games every few days on there, such as Evan's Remains or Pop-Up Dungeon. First up, we're going back a whole year back from the current month to April 2021. Personally, I was not too thrilled when this month was released, as such, never really played any of these games. The highlights this month included Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts, F1 2020, and Shenmue 3. With a combined game value of almost $350 USD, you may assume there'd be a lot of game value with a bundle like this. However, these were the days when Humble preferred quantity over quality. Yes, we had 12 games to redeem, but these are the days when 1 to 2 of the games in every single bundle I'd give or throw away, as I'd have literally zero interest in ever touching them, such as the Simulacra bundle. A few of these games may be worthwhile to the right person, however I don't think many of these games this month were very sought after. Therefore, April 21 is getting a solid rank C. Next up, we have May 2021, which featured Metro Exodus, Darksiders Genesis, and that's about it. Metro was an amazing ad this month, and this is where almost all the value comes from. I ended up playing a bit of Metro Exodus. While the story was great and the graphics were amazing, I couldn't keep it installed for too long as the game file is so large. Other than that, I tried a few of the others for a little while, like Vane and Levelhead, but didn't really bother with the rest. Looking back, Darksiders, Hellpoint, and Cook Serve Delicious all look somewhat fun, and I think I owe them all a good try. Family Man also looks pretty interesting, but as for the rest, I can see how I didn't end up really playing any of these. Super mediocre month, saved by a great headliner. May gets another C from me. June 2021 was when things finally started to look up. We received some great games in this month, such as Secret Neighbor, Stubbs the Zombie, A Worms Game, Going Under, Desolate, Ikenfell, and Civilization 6 being the headliner game this month. I thought this was a really great month, especially when compared to the last few, with Panzer Paladin, Milky Way Prince, and Disjunction on GOG being the only misses for me. I thought FE was a good time, though the game is super basic and bland, and Pop Ball looks alright as well. This earns June 2021 the first A rating of the video. There were definitely a few misses, but Civ 6 plus all of the games I mentioned is a steal for the price, especially when compared with the months to come. July 2021 was an interesting month, as I feel like people had mixed opinions on it. The main two headliners, Yakuza 3 and Surge 2, are great games, but they aren't the first game in their respective series. If you had the previous games already, this bundle would be great for you. Dirt 5, Kill It With Fire, Bee Simulator, and Elderborn all look like great games that I honestly haven't gotten around to giving a try quite yet. Deadly Days is a game I played quite a bit and actually ended up making a review video on, but I can't say too much for the other games included in this month. Lower quality stuff that you may enjoy. However, these games are not the reason why people are buying the choice this month. Therefore, July gets a solid B. Now, August is another special month for Humble Choice the last year, as I actually ended up skipping this month. The headliner game, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, in my opinion, is one of the worst games we've gotten in this spot around this time. Subliminal looked cool, sure, but with The Last Oasis and Out of Space being multiplayer-based games, there is very little reason for me to purchase the choice this month. Drake Hollow looked alright, and Blue Fire intrigued me enough to end up buying off someone on Reddit. However, looking back on the rest of the bundle this month, I'm pretty glad I held off. As this was one of the only times I've paused my Humble Choice after initially subscribing, I'm giving August a D. September saw a bit of increase in game quality, slightly, with the headliner game being PGA Tour 2K21. Although, unless you're into golf games, this probably didn't excite you too much, especially since this ended up being included in the Ukraine bundle 6 months later. Neon Abyss looked alright I suppose, but personally nothing from this month stood out to me at all. Granted, not for broadcast, Roki, Narita Boy, Heaven's Vault, Swag and Sorcery, and Fort Triumph might have been appealing to some people, but not to myself. If you haven't guessed, I skipped this month, resulting in my rating of another D. I'm curious what you all have to say about August and September 2021, so leave a comment down below with your thoughts and your personal rating. October 2021, we got Katana Zero as the headliner, followed by Amnesia Rebirth and John Wick Hex. This was a memorable month for a few reasons. To start, this was the first month of Humble Choice that I officially reviewed and made a video on. We've come a long way in 6 months. Second, I chose a really hard month to start reviewing the choice, as even now, this month is pretty tough to rate. As you can tell by this clip here, do I think the choice for this month is worth the price? No, definitely not. I did not end up recommending the October choice when I made a video on it. I still stand by that recommendation, however I could see how someone may see some value in this bundle. Everything in this bundle would be appealing to the right person, except Pipe Swap for instance. However, the mainstream appeal in this bundle is awful. There wasn't a single game from the choice that looked appealing to me before I bought it. Guts and Glory may strike your funny bone, and Black Future 88 and Katana Zero still look super solid. However, everything in this bundle was a big pass for myself. I'm giving October a C, but I'm curious on how you all feel about this month as well. The next month of November 2021, things started to look better again. Due Process was a bit controversial as a headliner game, as this was an early access multiplayer based game. Still unsure how I feel about that. However, being followed by titles like House Flipper, Project Wingman, BTPM Bullets Per Minute, and Wrath Aeon of Ruin, this was still a pretty solid month. Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion was an interesting ad that I ended up playing through in around 2 hours, and Timely being another good looking game I have yet to try. The other 3 titles look fun to the right person, but I haven't really spent any time with them and likely won't at this point. No AAA games back in the bundle yet, but from the great selection of indie games we got this month, I'm giving November a rating of B. December was another great month for the Humble Choice. Starting us off, we had Man-Eater, followed by Mordhau and Endzone A World Apart. This was another month that, instead of getting fewer titles that you may have heard of before, Humble included a larger number of indie games that you've probably never heard of. While this might be preferred by some, I wasn't really a fan of the quantity over quality approach, leading me to give away or permanently shelf a few of my games from this month. However, The Survivalists, Greek Members of Azure, and Voidigo are some of the better lower end games this month that saved the rating and lands December a B rating. 2022 started off with quite an interesting bundle. The headline game was Mafia Definitive Edition, which was a great game to add. Unfortunately, the rest of the games included this month weren't enough to save by recommendation, and it ended up pausing this month as well. Iron Harvest and Project Winter looked like fairly high quality games, but not really my cup of tea. Besides Farmer Dynasty and maybe Between the Stars, there's nothing really to mention from this month. Humble even caught some heat after including Retrowave, which is basically just a reskin of some Unity asset. From all this, I chose to give January a C, as this was a step in the right direction with Mafia being included, although the quality of the rest of the games included this month is definitely lacking. Finally, in February 2022 was when things finally started looking great for the choice. This was the month of the Humble Choice rebrand, where the price went to $12 USD every month and the addition of the Humble app. To kick things off, Humble included Borderlands 3 as a headline game, which was awesome as $12 was a good price for that game alone, and this bundle was very well received. I won't list every game, but every game this month I thought was worth checking out and giving a try, except for Perispera, which I ended up giving to one of my friends for his birthday. I've been playing a lot of Before We Leave lately. It's a very fun city builder that looks amazing. With all this in mind, I have to give February an A. The only problem with the choice this month being the second game included was just Borderlands 3 DLC, resulting in one less game being added to subscribers' libraries. DLC aside, this was an awesome month all around with lots of good looking games. Last month, in March, also wasn't so bad. We got Desperados 3 as a headline game, which I ended up giving away to one of my subscribers. Mass Effect Legendary Edition on Origin was a nice ad, but I've already forgotten that I own it since it's not on Steam. All-Star Brawl didn't turn out to be the greatest game, as you can tell by my video showed here. However, being a $50 game included was definitely welcomed. The rest of the games this month were good quality, but nothing that was super notable to myself. I'll give March a B, as there's some enjoyable games here, but this one was a bit tough as well, mostly with Mass Effect being on a different platform. At last, we've come to April, the current month of Humble Choice. This month, we got Ghost Runner as the headline game, followed by Destroy All Humans. These are both great games, and if you don't own either, there's a pretty good reason to buy the choice right there. Aside from that, we got some great games this month that I think lots of people can enjoy. Monster Sanctuary, Kill Squad, Rogue Heroes, and Chicken Police being some great games with lots of content to enjoy. As such, I'll be giving the April 2022 Humble Choice a rating of B. It's tough, but I think February has better content and replay value when compared to April. So, as you can see, we're kind of all over the board here. However, there seems to be a theme in the last few months compared to most bundles last year. It seems Humble has been including fewer games in recent months, with the games being higher quality, compared to a few months last year when we got lots of games in the bundle, but it was filled with lower quality games that subscribers likely didn't enjoy as much. Personally, I enjoy this change, as there are more games I can play and enjoy every month. What did you think of my rankings, and what has your favorite month been over the last 12? I'm looking forward to hearing in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, as I make monthly Humble Choice videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.